At KBLA Talk 1580, we're proud to be celebrating 4 years on the air, but we know we could not have made it this far without you. We work hard every single day to curate conversations that will enlighten, encourage, and empower you. So, from all of us at KBLA Talk 1580, a big thank you for your love and support.
You don't know how much you mean to me.
And by the way, if your smartphone did not update automatically, be sure to download our brand new KBLA 1580 app. We think you'll love all the new features, including new ways to send us photos and video in real time. Whenever news breaks, while we're on the air, it's a new dawn, a new day for KBLA Talk 1580. And we're glad you're on this journey with us.
You never turned away, you were right there. Thank you, thank you.
Everybody, have fun again. I want you to have fun. Have fun again. I want you to have fun. Just like little children, like the little children, know how they have fun. Just like little children, like the little children, know how they have fun. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, you're unhappy, now here's your chance. Don't you let the pressure of this make your lifestyle hectic all year. Have fun again, I want you to have fun.
All right, that's the boss.
I want you to have
Keep your hands on the steering wheel if you driving in afternoon drive time.
little children, know how they have fun.
We just want to rock a little bit.
Like the little children, know how they have fun.
You are listening to and streaming A More Perfect Union on KBLA Talk 1580. I'm Dr. Nii-Quartelai Quartey, having a lot of fun with you. I hope you're having as much fun with me as we bring you the second hour of A More Perfect Union here. I'm honored to be your host and White House correspondent, broadcasting live from Washington, D.C. today. By the way, happy birthday, D.C. Today's D.C.'s 235th birthday, but who's counting? I'm in touch, and so you be in touch. Be sure to follow me on all the socials at Dr. Nii-Quartelai. Just type in Dr. Nii-Q, and there I am, fresh for you to follow. Also, download the KBLA app to listen to us live or on demand, or simply tell Alexa to play KBLA Talk 1580, and there we are for your listening pleasure. Last but not least, subscribe to A More Perfect Union podcast. That way you will never miss an episode. Now, it's time for your national news roundup. It's time for you to decide the good, bad, and ugly headlines of the day. Kicking us off, the BBC is reporting that babies made using 3 people's DNA are born free of hereditary disease. You don't say. 8 babies have been born in the UK using genetic material from not 1, not 2, but 3 people to prevent devastating and often fatal conditions. The method, pioneered by UK scientists, it combines the egg and sperm from a mom and a dad with a second egg from a donor woman. And the technique has been legal, get this, for a decade. But we now have the first proof that it is leading to children born free of incurable mitochondrial disease. These conditions are normally passed from mother to child, starving the body of energy. And so, do you see this as a promising medical breakthrough? I certainly do. Any attempt to allow people to be born free from, any sort of hereditary disease. Okay, all right. Thank you, science, right? And I also say thank you to science for my COVID vaccine. Remember that? Remember we were all hoping and praying, trying to find a shot somewhere the CVS, the Rite Aid, the Safeway, wherever we could get one, right? Well, that was a medical miracle, right? The fact that vaccine was created the way that it was. And so this, in my view, is just another medical miracle. If medical miracle makes you uncomfortable, medical breakthrough. But that's what I feel. What do you think? Use the open mic feature on the KBLA app to tell me what you think about this new medical advance where babies have been made with 3 people's DNA. All right. On the other news, from the UK to Chicago, efforts to override Mayor Brandon Johnson's veto of teen takeover curfew, it failed. That's right. Brandon Johnson appeared to know what was coming this morning, hours before backers of an ordinance giving Chicago police superintendent power to declare a teen curfew anytime, anywhere. It failed to override his veto. And so ahead of 28 aldermen voting for the curfew, short of the 34 needed to outmuscle his veto pen, over a dozen aldermen, they crowded around the mayor at a city hall event to celebrate him striking the curfew down. It was a clear sign that Johnson may not have had a city council majority support, but he had enough allies to win nonetheless. And so the kids in Chicago, you aren't going to be subjected to that snap curfew, at least that power that would rest in the hands of the superintendent. But stay out the street. Listen to your parents. Be cool. And perhaps the mayor of Chicago will not have to revisit this anytime soon. Moving along, The Guardian is reporting that Columbia adopts a controversial definition of anti-Semitism amid federal grant freeze. That's right. Columbia University has agreed to adopt a controversial definition of anti-Semitism as it pursues an agreement with Trump aimed at restoring $400 million in federal government grants frozen over its alleged failure to protect Jewish students. Talk about the cost of doing business, right? In order to get that $400 million restored, they had to agree to this very controversial definition of anti-Semitism. You see, in a letter to students and staff, the university's acting president, Claire Shipman, said that it would incorporate the International Holocaust Remembrance Alliance's definition of anti-Semitism into its anti-discrimination policies as a part of a broad overhaul. It is the latest in a string of concessions that Columbia has made following criticisms, mainly from pro-Israel groups and Republican members of Congress, that university authorities had tolerated the expression of anti-Semitic attitudes in pro-Palestinian campus protests following the outbreak of the war between Israel and Hamas in Gaza in 2023. And so, Columbia has taken the bait, as some might say, on this. The question is, will other universities follow suit? We're seeing the operational definition of anti-Semitism change right before our very eyes. And so in the days and weeks ahead, we look forward to having experts on this show to help us unpack all of what that means. But when we come forward, I'm looking forward to welcoming back Al Reynolds. He is one of our favorite pop culture contributors and entertainment correspondents. There are so many headlines that are trending in the world of pop culture that we need an Al Reynolds to help us separate the fact from the fiction. And by the way, Al Reynolds is looking extra good. You're going to see what I'm talking about when we come forward. You're listening to and streaming A More Perfect Union on KBLA Talk 1580.
You're listening to A More Perfect Union on KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
Our daughter Jessie loves playing detective.
A clue.
But since we discovered she has sensitive skin, we've been playing detective too.
We thought the problem was our puppy.
But it was actually our old detergent.
Aha.
So we switched to Tide Free and Gentle. Tide Free and Gentle provides an excellent Tide clean, and it doesn't leave behind irritating residues like dyes or perfumes. so it's gentle on your skin.
Case closed.
If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide-free and gentle.
Small businesses are the heart of America. But you don't have to go it alone. As the nation's largest nonprofit resource of expert business mentoring, SCORE has helped millions of entrepreneurs build their businesses for free. Get the connections, education, and guidance you need with SCORE. We're ready to help. Find a mentor today at score.org.
Hey, listen to this. All I needed was a new starter. Got a great deal on eBay. Did it myself.
Yeah, that's cool. But how about the soft purr of an upgraded exhaust when it fits just right?
For me, it's the little things, like these new windshield wipers from eBay I installed. From small fixes to big upgrades, eBay has all the parts you need at prices you'll love, guaranteed to fit every time. eBay, things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Hello, I'm Joe Cordell, founder of Cordell & Cordell. Divorce is complicated, especially when your small business or professional practice is involved. At Cordell & Cordell, we understand that these assets raise unique valuation and allocation issues. For 35 years, we've helped doctors, lawyers, and small business owners navigate divorce with confidence. Call us at Cordell & Cordell. Let me tell you, I understand on a personal level, your business is much more than a job. It's your legacy.
1455 Frazee, San Diego. CordellCordell.com.
An official message from Medicare.
I turned 65 this year. I knew it was time to figure out Medicare, and I had questions, like when to enroll and how to enroll. So I went straight to the official source, Medicare.gov, to get the facts about Medicare. I found answers to all my questions, and I'm ready to get started. And so can you. Just go to Medicare.gov to get the real facts about Medicare.
Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2025 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, starting at just $98 a pair.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aid.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
We have no permanent friends or permanent enemies. Only permanent interests as we effort to build a more perfect union.
You are listening to and streaming A More Perfect Union on KBLA Talk 1580. I'm Dr. Nii-Quartelai Quartey, and he is the Al Reynolds, our pop culture contributor and entertainment correspondent. Al, you look so amazing that
thank you.
I got the note from Brother Andy that, Doc, you got to at least take it down at least one button.
That's right. I said, go ahead, let it out. Let us see all the hairs, buddy.
It's good to see you. How are you doing?
Listen, I'm doing well. No complaints. This is my third show today. This is how much I love a perfect union. This is my third show. I'm actually sitting in a bathroom in the studio of the second show that I'm doing, just to bring you and your viewers and listeners everything that they need to know.
Oh, you're so kind. You're so good to us. What do we do to really be able to enjoy the kind gestures and the warmth of Al Reynolds? What did we do?
You know exactly what you did, Dr. Ian.
Well, now we know exactly what Barack Obama and Michelle Obama didn't do.
Right.
The NBC News is reporting that Barack and Michelle Obama, they're addressing their divorce rumors. The Obamas were really laughing off divorce rumors. Barack and Michelle Obama playfully addressed the headlines about their marriage during a July 14th episode of Michelle Obama's Emo podcast. At the start of the show, the former First Lady revealed that she had, quote, a very special guest joining her and her brother, Craig Robinson, who's co-host of the podcast. And so, they come out and, Michelle Obama, starts off by saying it's nice to have you. Or I'm sorry, her brother started off by saying it's nice to have you both in the same room, as if that was
right.
Right. And, the president basically, sort of shrugged it off. He's like, somebody had to tell him, like, people are talking about this. He's like, really? Right. And what I thought was very interesting is Michelle Obama was very clear. She said, I've never thought about leaving my husband. And I was like, wow, that is really wonderful. Were you surprised by any of this?
Oh, no. I mean, the only thing that I was surprised about, honestly, was the rumor. But then again, they've been through everything else. One thing that you have to remember, she has been very open and transparent about her relationship with Obama. Remember in her book, The Light We Carry, there was a portion she said that she spent 10 years where she didn't like him. She said, but she was married to him and she was committed to him and she had children with him and they had a vision and a journey to take together. And they took that vow and they took it very serious. So I know for a fact, because of her transparency when she shared all of that, I think it's very, very hard for the real, I call her the real first lady, because to me, she's our real first lady, to share and be so vulnerable about that there were almost a decade where she didn't like the man that she was living with and was married to, but they worked through it and they grew through it and they became stronger and better. And another thing that I know after sharing that, if Michelle can survive 8 years in the White House, survive 2 teenage daughters, and then that tan suit backlash didn't end them in divorce court, I don't think they're going anywhere anytime soon. And I just love the way Obama's like, okay, baby, they say we need to address it. I'm going to come and address it for you, even though I don't feel there is a need to do that. I love the way he came in and he talked about it. He put it all on the table and he shared. And she shared, and they put the rumors to rest. Now, what I have to get used to, Dr. Nii-Quartelai, is having to always address stuff. I'm from the old school where just because there's rumor, there's hearsay, I come from that vantage point that you don't have to address it. But obviously in this whole social media crazed media space, that you have to come to the carpet and you have to share or put to rest rumors. And that's exactly what the Obamas did. So I'm very proud of them and glad that they did it.
And I mean, as you were sharing that, I'm thinking, wow, I got the right one, right? Because for a long time, you know what it's like to be in the zeitgeist with, people thinking that they know who you are. They think that they know about your relationship. People take liberties on things that they don't know. And, you're a real person. The people that you've been in relationship with are real people. You have family members, that hear this stuff and that go past the checkout at the grocery store and they see
you're always there.
Right?
I've been through that.
Right. And so here you are on the other side of all of that. Does part of this come with just sort of age and maturity? Do you get to a point where it's like, well, if you want to know, here you go. But, on the other end, none of your business.
Right. I don't think age and maturity. Well, let me take this back. I don't think being mature has anything to do with it. We're humans first and foremost, right? We bleed the same. We get sad the same. We get happy the same. When people are talking negative about you, I don't care who you are. Obviously, if the former president of the United States has to go and do a freaking vlog in order to address these type of rumors, then it's having an effect on someone. It's having an effect on either the children, their inner circle, or the two of them. The one thing that I felt was the hardest to do when I was going through all of that. And when you go to the checkout, there I was on the stand. When you watch Saturday Night Live, there I was, the skit. It's just, you're human, and people making fun of you or people lying or people making bad memes about you just doesn't feel good. So I don't care how mature you are. I don't know how old you get. It doesn't feel good. But as I've gotten older, what I've fully understand now is it's not how I feel, it's how I deal with how I feel. And that with maturity has changed. So that I can say on the other side is growth.
Well, we love to hear that growth. And just to put a finer point on it, our forever first lady says, quotes, there hasn't been one moment in our marriage where I thought about quitting on my man. And we've had some really hard times. We've had a lot of fun times, a lot of adventures. I've become a better person because of the man I'm married to. I say amen to
Absolutely. I'm falling all in love with them. I'm falling in love with them again and again and again. But those they are worth it.
I mean, and on a whole nother level, because, you know, you understand what it takes to show up in the public square as the former president and first lady of the United States, let alone as historic first. We've never seen a black first lady. We've never seen a black president before, right? And, you know, all the crazy accusations as they were running for office and while they were in office for 8 years, you know, and so, you know, to see the lighter side of them, to see the president walk into that interview wearing sneakers.
I know.
Right?
This swag is always going to kill it. And she's just absolutely beautiful. Let me tell you something. My time in watching them in the White House, the only thing that I was worried about most of the time was if someone was going to try to unalive them. That was my biggest concern. Everything else I could rock with. I could rock with the criticism, because one thing that I have learned in this journey in life is that when you are good, if not the best, people are going to always hate on you. And that's what it looked like to me watching them in their 2 terms.
Well, switching gears, we also got you the right one on this. The economy is pretty turbulent for influencers too. NPR put out this article earlier today that's really caught my attention. It's an unexpected place to spot a recession indicator, but from videos reviewing the latest in skincare to picturesque posts of summer vacations, the impact of turbulent financial markets and seesawing tariff policies threatens to upend the multi-billion-dollar influencer industry for millions of online creators. I didn't know that there are about 12 million influencers in the United States alone. They, on average, they make about $180,000 a year. Excuse me, right?
Right. I'm in the wrong business.
Right. And right now they have recession jitters. That have made online audiences and brands a little bit more discerning about their spending and about who they get into business with. And so, look, you know, you've been in the game for a long time. There are a lot of people that pay very close attention, you know, to your thoughts and opinions and the different products that you use as you live your life. Talk to us about this idea of influencers as an economic indicator. I also know that you spent time on Wall Street,
Absolutely.
right?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I teach this. One of the classes that I teach at Bowie State University is about, you know, using social media to brand yourself and to actually see what would be considered an influencer recession. Now, you know, when influencers are going through it, that means you better pay attention, because listen, their rent is paid by likes, comments, and viral sounds. It's survival of the most brandable. So the fact that we're seeing some type of hemorrhage in that space speaks to how influencers you're going to watch and see in coming months, if not year, shift in how they promote, shift in things that they do, what they focus on. I mean, nowadays, TikTok stars are giving financial tips. You know, they're cutting back on looking beautiful at every turn with their glam squads. And the shocker here is when you read a statistic that influencers are now looking for part-time jobs, they're letting you know how deep this cut actually is. So I'm here for it because I always tell my students, regardless of what you decide to do, it's very important that when it comes to a recession or a pullback in the market, that you be secure financially and be bulletproof to trends. In order to be bulletproof to trends, you need to have multiple forms of income. And that's one thing that I really enjoy about this generation. This generation believes in having multiple incomes. So as far as I'm concerned, as long as they're still diversifying as it relates to making their money, and it's not just on likes and comments and viral moments, then they don't have to worry about ending up in that bankruptcy line or that eviction line.
No, I mean, I think that's great advice. I think that there are a number of folks out there that are trying to get a sense of how do we weather the storm? How do we weather the storm? And as NPR reported, for some influencers, it might mean pivoting their content away from shopping hauls more towards embracing underconsumption. And, there are experts out there that say that consumers want to buy less and save more. And so it makes sense that a lot of people now watch the kind of content that helps them to do that and finds ways to be scrappy in their own lives. And so, even when folks may be on edge about a potential recession, it's also an indicator of a different kind of content lane.
That's right.
Folks may not have previously considered.
Right. And, you have to be flexible because, the days of just showing your toes, that's just not cutting it anymore.
Are we still talking about TikTok?
Don't get me in trouble on Christian network right here, buddy. I might be dressed like a Southern Baptist preacher tonight. I am definitely not one.
That's all right. That's all right. We still love you. We still love you, Al. When we come forward, we're gonna dig a little bit deeper into some other headlines. USA Today is reporting that GoFundMe campaigns are raising nearly $2 million.
I love that.
Deportations and aid families. And it's not just GoFundMe. Some people are resorting to OnlyFans.com to do what they can to stay in this country. We're going to dig all into this headline with Al Reynolds when we come forward. You're listening to and streaming A More Perfect Union on KBLA Talk 1580.
The audience is listening. Thought-provoking, eye-opening, heart-rendering. This is where authentic voices meet powerful discussions on culture, community, and change. This is where Black voices matter. He's breaking boundaries, amplifying diverse perspectives, and tackling the issues that matter most to you. You're inside A More Perfect Union with Dr. Nii-Quartelai Quartey on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Misty Jordan with BIN News Now. President Trump says the media and some Republicans are wasting time on what he calls the Epstein hoax. Trump spoke to reporters in the Oval Office and was asked about the DOJ investigation into Epstein that even some Republicans have questioned.
It's all been a big hoax. It's perpetrated by the Democrats, and some stupid Republicans and foolish Republicans fall into the net. And so they try and do the Democrats' work.
Trump added he was surprised that some Republicans got duped and followed the Democratic playbook on going after him with false stories. A new survey from Northwestern Mutual found that nearly 70% of respondents were feeling anxiety and depression over financial uncertainty. That's an 8% increase from 2023. And Black Lives Matter celebrates its 12th anniversary. Get BIN News now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Delays out of Calabasas, very heavy from Las Virgenes all the way to the 170-134 split. Delays in Hollywood from Sunset into downtown Los Angeles. Santa Monica, East 10, delays from Cloverfield all the way to the 5 in Boyle Heights. And it's going to be another tough drive into La Crescenta. We're looking at the 210 westbound. A crash just before Foothill Boulevard has been cleared out of lanes, but we're still seeing a really tough drive getting away from the 2.
Got issues with youth or high school sports? Positive Coaching Alliance can help. PCA, a national nonprofit, offers more than 1,000 free online resources for youth and high school sports coaches, parents, students, and administrators. Visit PCADevZone.org.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The Clippers have finalized negotiations to acquire shooting guard Bradley Beal, a three-time NBA All-Star. The 32-year-old Beal agreed to a contract buyout with the Phoenix Suns and plans to sign a 2-year deal with the Clippers worth $11 million. Beal had conversations with the Lakers, Miami, Milwaukee, and Minnesota before reaching a deal with the Clippers. Beal told his agent the Clippers were his first choice. If Beal is healthy, he could be a major addition to the Clippers roster. Beal missed 58 games during his 2 years in Phoenix because of back problems. When he played, he averaged 17.6 points, 4.3 assists, and shot 50%. When Major League Baseball paid tribute to Hank Aaron during last night's All-Star game in Atlanta, MLB announced plans for a $100,000 endowment for Tuskegee University, an HBCU school in Aaron's home state of Alabama. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
Yeah. At KBLA Talk 1580, we're proud to be celebrating 4 years on the air, but we know we could not have made it this far without you. We work hard every single day to curate conversations that will enlighten, encourage, and empower you. So, from all of us at KBLA Talk 1580, a big thank you for your love and support.
You don't know how much you mean to me.
And by the way, if your smartphone did not update automatically, be sure to download our brand new KBLA 1580 app. We think you'll love all the new features, including new ways to send us photos and video in real time. Whenever news breaks, while we're on the air, it's a new dawn, a new day for KBLA Talk 1580. And we're glad you're on this journey with us.
You never turned away, you were right there. And I thank you, thank you.
You have cancer. The 3 words no one wants to hear. Of the cancers that impact our community, lung cancer is the most dangerous. More people succumb to lung cancer than colon, breast, and prostate combined. Black men are 12% more likely to develop lung cancer, and cases for Black women are rising. Early detection and comprehensive treatment is the best way to beat this dreaded disease. Providence is a research leader in multi-cancer early detection, offering blood tests that identify fast-spreading cancers that don't show symptoms in early stages. The Providence Los Angeles Integrated Network Cancer Program determines best protocols for each patient, interacting with specialists who share experiences, perspectives, and new findings specific to each case. With over 1,000 board-certified physicians, including top oncologists, surgeons, radiologists, and nurse specialists, Providence delivers whole-person care that understands your culture, values, preferences, and priorities. So, if you hear the words, "you have cancer," all you need is faith and providence.org/cancer.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580.
Hit me!
National news of consequence, informed opinion, and analysis beyond the headlines. You're listening to A More Perfect Union on KBLA Talk 1580.
You are listening to and streaming A More Perfect Union on KBLA Talk 1580. I'm Dr. Nii-Quartelai Quartey, and always fun to be in conversation with Al Reynolds. He is our pop culture contributor and entertainment correspondent, and he's looking extra spiffy. Why do you look so spiffy today?
Clean. Well, this is my 3rd show today. So I started out working at Fox. I did a show called The Take. And so usually, you have to dress you have to dress up for that show. And then I did Autumn Joy. I think you know Autumn Joy from here in DMV. I did her show out here in PG County, and I'm hiding in one of her bathrooms to do the one and only A Perfect Union with Dr. Nii-Quartelai.
And you are a man in demand, and you are clean as can be. We're so delighted to have you here to really just help us make some sense out of some of the trending headlines of the day. There's so much that's swirling. And in this age of deep fakes and mis and disinformation, It is it's a joy to have you here to help us make sense out of it. And so with that, before the break, I was talking about these GoFundMe campaigns and how USA Today is reporting that the GoFundMe campaigns have raised nearly $2 million to block deportations and aid families. And a photo on OnlyFans.com, a former model from Colombia, smiles under a white visor as she sunbathes in South Florida. It was taken poolside months ago, and she's locked up in ICE detention center in Louisiana. And so the cost of deportation defense, it can run into the thousands of dollars, and a growing number of immigrant families are resorting to online fundraising to make ends meet. Could you have ever imagined that this would be a sign of the times?
Man, I not like this. Not like this. Now, with this administration, we've learned to imagine for the worst. The good thing about, and I love this about crowdfunding, and GoFundMe is considered crowdfunding. That's America's new emergency system. And even though it's unofficial, and in some cases it can be messy or fraudulent, it's still very, very powerful. Remember, last year, GoFundMe logged 2 donations every second last year with an average gift of $77. So someone donating every second led to $40 million in donations to people in need. And that was through GoFundMe. I love this concept of how people are rallying behind this deportation. We saw this before, though, Dr. Nii-Quartelai. I don't know if you remember, but when there was a Facebook fundraiser, it was called Racist. It's a Texas immigrant rights nonprofit. When they posted their need, they were helping a particular client. They were posting the need for $1,500. Guess how much they raised to help reunite families separated at the border?
How much they raised?
$20 million. That to me is economy. And that matters because cash bail and legal fees are family separators. If you can't get legal representation or get that bail, you are going to be in there for quite a while. I love this concept of GoFundMes that are helping people. This is one part of social media and the internet that I still am very attracted to and love. It brings meaning and purpose to causes that need to be heard and seen, and I'm here for it.
Wow. Well, we know that based on an analysis by USA Today, fundraising efforts on GoFundMe.com, they found dozens of campaigns that have raised more than $1.8 million. This is just since President Trump took office. The majority of these campaigns being in the past couple of months. And so you're right. GoFundMe has become a critical lifeline, not just for Americans, but people around the world.
Absolutely. You gotta, that's true. I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, but I think a thing that a lot of people forget about is when you take all of these immigrants into custody, they have kids. And those kids are not in custody. Those kids are somewhere left with a family member or in foster care, which is even worse. So the fact that these crowdfundings, these GoFundMes, and they step and they help with where policy lacks when it comes to money. This is all around just a positive, feel-good situation, and I like it.
And I really appreciate the fact that the folks over at GoFundMe, they declined to discuss the increase with USA Today, and they declined to provide any in-house data on immigration-related fundraisers. They're not trying to make the job of the feds
right, exactly. I wouldn't share either, because exactly what will happen given this current administration. Somehow they'll figure out how to shut it down. So I think they need to stay as quiet as possible as they navigate these uncharted waters.
Yeah. And OnlyFans.com, they didn't respond to a request for comments regarding immigration detention related accounts. And so the Colombian woman's page, the Colombian woman I mentioned at the top, her page explicitly centers on her ICE detention, playing on the before and after of her circumstances. And so OnlyFans ain't talking, and neither is GoFundMe. And that's just the way it is.
I like it. Smart.
Well, one other thing that folks are scratching their head at apparently is Gen Z's blank stare. Who knew? Gen Z's blank stare is the internet's latest obsession. USA Today reporting that TikTokers say there's a name for that. It's called the Gen Z stare. Users on the platform, they say it refers to a vacant stare that young people might give in response to small talk, like simple customer service questions or workplace inquiries. Hypothetical skits on the platform mocking Gen Z responses are going viral. You know, can Gen Z really own this? I feel like every generation offers that sort of vacant, blank stare.
Yeah, but it's something about this generation that just does it different, and it hits different. I have 12 nephews and one niece, and they're Gen Zs and Ys and all of this, and it drives me crazy. When I ask you a question, answer it, and this stare thing is all they do, and it's more like allegedly it's like it's supposed to be this look of being completely unbothered, but I take it as disrespectful, and it bothers the heck out of me that they just stare at you like you're a complete idiot of some sort and don't answer you, and it's almost like you're asking them to like go unalive somebody for you or go do your job for you or something. But I'm telling you, it's a real thing, Doc. It's a real thing. And I'm telling you, if one more look at me with this unbothered stare, I'm going to choke the crap out of them. And you know, I teach. So when I'm teaching the students and I ask them a question, they give me these stares. I'm like, okay, no, this is your time to answer. And then they look at me again like they're unbothered, like I'm doing something to them. And I said, let me tell you what, you want a grade in this class? You better move that unbothered. You better move that unbothered to better.
see. Now, I never attributed that to a Gen Z stare. Certainly in the classroom,
yeah.
You know, any professor is used to getting at least some blank stares. I always sort of interpret it as, okay, clearly you have not immersed yourself in the material. Right. We all know that look when they haven't read. And they are hoping and praying
that you don't call on them
in every faith.
But it's not that, Doc. It's not that, Doc. You should know. Well, I teach at a historically Black college or university, so you teach at one of those PWIs. See, that's totally different. They come to class with a totally different face. Now, my students, I teach public speaking. You come to my class to speak. When you call on them to speak, they look at you like, man, I am so upset. I be so upset with them. But you know what it's teaching me, though? It's teaching me on different forms of communication. And that's what I teach them, communication. So I give them their moment, but they definitely have to shift. This younger generation does not like to talk. They would rather text than talk. They don't even talk to their girlfriends or boyfriends on the phone. They text and they send pictures. It's the wildest thing to me. And they've developed this stare as if you're bothering them when I'm trying to teach them. Yeah. So I don't know. It's all interesting, but every generation has this thing, and this is this generation's thing.
Yeah, that's true. That's the texting thing. I'm like, can we talk?
And that's like asking them like a Martian. They look at you like you're crazy. Like I force my students to give a speech at the end of the semester, and they have to put in everything that they learned in the speech and use all the techniques and all the styles and stuff. It's like pulling teeth. I've never had so many dead parents and grandparents and ambulances and car wrecks on the day of the final. At least of 100 students, I at least had 10 who had death in their family that morning, right? How convenient is that?
Al, in our remaining minutes, tell us, sort of what else you're working on, because your body of work, I don't know how you sleep because you have your hands in so many different things, but, talk to us about what you're working on now and where can people go to tap in?
Absolutely. You can tap in on all my social media platforms at the THEL Reynolds. That's on YouTube. That's on TikTok. That's also on IG. IG and YouTube are my most active. The thing that I'm most excited about was I did a series on a show called The Feast, where they highlighted minority individuals in entertainment as well in the culinary field. And we won a Telly Award. We won a Telly
Award. Yeah. Congratulations, you Telly Award winner.
So I'm an Telly Award winner. This is my second award. I won a Truth Awards award.
That's right.
Yeah. So I'm super excited about that. And as always, you can check that out and everything else on my Instagram. Other than that, I'm returning this fall back to Bowie State University teaching, and also returning to the prison system. I'll be teaching in the prison system in the fall, and I'm excited to be doing that because, as you know, when there are more African-American men in prison than going to college, we have a problem. And I'm going feet first in correcting that issue here in Maryland.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. I mean, and let me just say, Black male teachers are hard to come by. And so the fact that both of us have found a way to prioritize having a presence in the classroom. And as Whitney Elizabeth Houston said, teach them well, let them lead the way. And so we believed her. And that's what we're doing. Our thanks to Al Reynolds for joining us here on A More Perfect Union. We can't wait to see you back again soon.
All right. Everyone, take care. Have a good night.
You've been listening to and streaming A More Perfect Union on KBLA Talk 1580.
Striving to make America a nation as good as its promise. This is A More Perfect Union on KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
Attorney advertising. Prior results do not guarantee future outcomes.
Founded in Los Angeles in 1986, litigation powerhouse Quinn Emanuel has deep roots in the Los Angeles community. Since 2007, we have litigated some of the largest fires on the West Coast. We are proud to be the only AmLaw 100 firm in the country to represent wildfire victims, giving affected individuals, families, and businesses the same focus and individualized attention we devote to our Fortune 500 clients. BTI Consulting has repeatedly recognized Quinn Emanuel as among the 4 law firms in-house counsel least likely to oppose in any litigation, and we are often deemed the most feared. And after securing over $80 billion for our clients in various matters firm-wide, we understand why. If you have been affected by the recent wildfires in Altadena and the Palisades and would like to discuss your situation further, please contact wildfire support at QuinnEmanuel.com or call us at 213-443-3050. Quinn Emanuel is proud to sponsor Conversation Live Altadena Rising with James Farr on KBLA Talk 1580.
Attorney advertising. Prior results do not guarantee future outcomes.
Sometimes an identity threat is a ring of professional hackers. And sometimes it's an overworked accountant who forgot to encrypt their connection while sending bank details.
I need a coffee.
And you need LifeLock because your info is in endless places. It only takes one mistake to expose you to identity theft. LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at lifelock.com. Terms apply.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2025 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, starting at just $98 a pair.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aids.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we aim to foster enlightening, sustainable, restorative dialogue, and we welcome unapologetically progressive viewpoints that empower fellow citizens. We are now accepting submissions for KBLA Talk 1580 guest editorials like this one.
With the KBLA Talk 1580 guest editorial, I'm Martin Gordon, chair of the Pasadena Community Coalition. Recently, I listened to a Tavis Smiley Show conversation with James Farr. James said something that caught me off guard. blackout that Dina is gone. My community is being murdered. I said murdered.
All you have to do is go to our website homepage at KBLA1580.com and click on the icon that says KBLA Guest Editorials to learn more about our editorial standards and content submission guidelines. As long as the topic aligns with our mission, we are happy to review your submission and consider it for broadcast. We can't make any promises, but we want to amplify progressive perspectives that are community-focused and solution-oriented. So go to KBLA1580.com right now to download all the information you need about our guest editorials. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
Notable journalists, industry leaders, lawmakers, change makers, tastemakers, and you, working to build a more perfect union on KBLA Talk 1580.
You are listening to and streaming A More Perfect Union on KBLA Talk 1580. It's time for the quiet part out loud. Who would have ever thought that LA bus operators are the ones that are saying the quiet part out loud? That's right. They are vowing to shut doors on ICE to keep immigrant riders safe. The Los Angeles Public Press is reporting on this story that caught my attention, and I think it should be front and center for you, for anyone who frequents public transportation, especially young people and our seniors. I just think this is important information for folks to know. This LA Public Press story shared that on June 3rd, days before federal agents expanded immigration enforcement across LA County, three unidentified masked men tried to board a metro bus in Koreatown. That's according to Jamie C., the bus operator on the route that day. He said that they looked nothing like the nannies, the gardeners, the hotel workers that he typically picked up at that time on the westward route. Jamie was concerned that they might be federal immigration agents who could harm his passengers. So he said he refused to let them aboard. The agents, who Jamie said were armed and dressed in plain clothes, they knocked on the bus door and presented a Metro tap card, but they didn't identify themselves or explain why they needed to board. And so Jamie said he spoke to the men loudly so that the security surveillance system on board would record the interaction. I said I'm not opening my door due to safety reasons, and it looks like somebody has something suspicious. As Jamie assessed the situation that day, he said that he felt within his rights to deny service in order to protect passengers. Protect passengers, even though his employee rule book says that he should comply with law enforcement, and Metro hadn't given any guidance at that point on how operators should interact with federal agents. And so Jamie didn't report the incident to supervisors, and neither Metro nor ICE responded to requests from our friends over at LA Public Press asking to comment on the incident. But Jamie said he felt a duty. He felt a duty as the son of an immigrant to protect riders who may be unfairly targeted for arrest due to racial profiling, an issue that he assumed would soon be challenged in court. Well, guess what? Weeks later, a federal lawsuit filed by the ACLU against the Department of Homeland Security, they secured an order by U.S. District Judge Mami Awusi Mensah Frimpong, requiring ICE to stop targeting individuals based on race or ethnicity and using other unconstitutional tactics during immigration enforcement. If he encounters ICE agents again, Jamie said he's within his rights to deny them entry or reroute his bus to avoid putting his passengers in danger. Bus operators can pass up a stop or deny service when the operator believes an individual or group possesses a threat or endangers the safety of the operator, customers, and or metro equipment, or when allowing someone on board who would result in a known safety hazard. This is according to a section of the Metro Employee Rulebook that was reviewed by the LA Public Press. It's also worth noting that Ritu Majan Estes, an attorney with public counsel, told the LA Public Press that it's understandable that metro operators would want to shield riders from harm, especially given the aggressive tactics that ICE has employed while arresting people. The attorney for public counsel also said that while agencies and businesses can't bar ICE agents from public spaces, they can ask them to leave or present a warrant if agents seek to enter private spaces such as offices or kitchens. And so this story caught my attention. Hopefully it caught yours. I think it's important that people know their rights. We here at A More Perfect Union, we here at KBLA Talk 1580 believe that it's important for you to know your rights. And our commitment is to continue to illuminate your rights and to bring on subject matter experts that also help us to understand what our rights are and how to keep ourselves safe, how to keep our families safe, and how to look out for one another. And, I just want to recognize Jamie C., the bus operator, as a profile in courage. I don't know about you, but I remember being a kid and riding the bus to and from school. And, gives you a great opportunity to get to know the bus operator. You get to know them, you get to know their family, you get to know where they're from, and they get to know who you are. Your family, where you're from, what you're about. And I remember many of bus drivers in Contra Costa County, where I grew up, on the county connection, who were looking out for me and looking out for so many other people who rode the bus frequently. And it's good to see that Jamie C. in LA County is doing the same. We're going to have to leave it there. My thanks to the entire village helps us produce A More Perfect Union each and every day. Our executive producer, Tavis Smiley, our sound engineer, Brother Andy, our show producers, Faraji and Art, as well as each and every one of you, all of our leaders, learners, and listeners. We hope you've enjoyed today's show. Remember, like Jamie C., do what you can from where you are with what you have, but by all means, do something. I'm Dr. Nii-Quartelai Quartey, and you've been listening to and streaming A More Perfect Union on KBLA Talk 1580.